Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. I can tell you one thing, we all agree, it doesn't matter whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, we can all agree that 2020 was an unbelievable year. In fact, to be completely honest, when 2021 started, I was like, oh, I'm happy 2020 is behind us. I'm so excited looking forward to 2021. And after what happened at the start of 2021 with all the drama, what happened on the 6th of January, I said to myself, I'm now looking forward to 2022. But jokes aside, can you believe that almost 3 months just are behind us in 2021? It's hard to believe how time flies. In fact, the one thing that many of our fellow Americans did to make time fly was this. We drank a lot of liquor. It's pretty clear that we love our booze. And here's a tweet on your screen from Reed Wilson, who's a correspondent for The Hill. Change in US liquor sales in 2020. We drank more vodka, we drank more whiskey, a lot more tequila, a lot more brandy, a lot more cognac, a lot more rum, and a lot more gin. Here's the headline of an article from Bloomberg. Wow, we sure drank a lot last year. A trade war and a bar closing pandemic did not slow down the US liquor industry, but the hangover from 2020's binge might. Take a look at this chart. The pandemic was good for liquor sales, US distilled spirit suppliers' gross revenues, and take a look at the revenues over the years. In the middle of a pandemic, their liquor sales for liquor suppliers were the highest ever. Take a look at the trend over the years. And take a look at this chart on your screen. We drank more of everything except certain kinds of liquor. We drank more whiskey, more vodka. By the way, I'm a vodka guy. I love vodka. We drank more tequila. We drank more brandy, more cognac, more rum, more gin. We basically drank more of everything in an effort to try and forget 2020. Here's the headline of an article from Politico. Drug pricing, climate, immigration. House Democrats are eyeing the kitchen sink approach for the next stimulus bill. They're looking at ways to muscle through priorities using the process of budget reconciliation that allowed them to pass the massive $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan without a single Republican vote, despite all the objections from the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, despite all the objections from all the Republicans. They were able to get what they wanted. And now that they've tasted that, now that they've sensed that, there's no looking back, and they want to go bigger, bolder, and broader in the next major stimulus package. Here's a quote from the House Budget Chair, John Yarmouth. He said it's going to be a kitchen sink. And he said virtually everyone's going to want to get their priorities done through reconciliation. We'll see what we can accommodate. Now, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer have not formally decided whether they'll use the process of reconciliation again. But at this moment in time, anything is possible. We know that President Biden is trying to get Republican support for the infrastructure plan, but we also know that there is an appetite amongst the Democrats to use budget reconciliation again in order to pass a massive, major $3 trillion infrastructure package. In fact, what is really surprising is that one of the senior Democrats was actually caught accidentally blurting out on a hot mic. People heard him say that the Republicans were foot dragging. In fact, let's show you this headline of this article from Politico. Senior Democrat hot mic says Republicans foot dragging will force the Democrats to fast track the process for infrastructure using budget reconciliation. Ben Cardin said Democrats will likely have to use budget reconciliation for their infrastructure plans. Senator Ben Cardin, a senior Democrat on the committee responsible for crafting a surface transportation bill, in a hot mic moment told Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg that Democrats will likely have to use budget reconciliation for their infrastructure plans, citing continued resistance from Republicans. Now, there are consequences for the Democrats because they, in a way, don't have too many shots at the budget reconciliation process. Let's take a look at this quote. Democrats concede that another massive partisan package is far from the ideal option under a president who often boasts of his track record of working across the aisle. But many also foresee a struggle to reach an agreement with Republicans on the contours of the infrastructure plan, not to mention how to pay for it. And this probably is the most telling quote from the Politico article. By the way, we'll provide you with a link to the article in the description section below, so you can definitely check out all the links in the description section. The stakes are high for the second and final reconciliation package of the year for the Democrats. Most Democrats believe they will not get another shot at using the budget reconciliation process before the midterms next fall due to election year time constraints and the complexity of the process. Meanwhile, Republicans are already predicting that they will recapture the majority in the House because this traditionally tends to happen after one party wins the House and the Senate as well as the presidency. And historically, it's bad for the party that wins the presidency and the House and the Senate when the midterms roll around. So the Republicans are already predicting that they'll recapture the majority in the House, which is why the Democrats feel that right now it's now or never, and hence the kitchen sink approach, which is likely to happen with the use of budget reconciliation for this massive infrastructure package. And speaking of infrastructure, everybody, here's the headline of an article that I did report earlier on our channel. President Biden's team is preparing a $3 trillion package on infrastructure spending for the economy. This new proposal would invest in infrastructure, in education, workforce development, which I feel is very important, and fighting climate change with the aim of making the economy more productive. Now, I want our viewers and subscribers to know that individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality have in many cases lost their jobs permanently. So there needs to be a way to be able to retrain these individuals. There needs to be a way for these individuals to get back on their feet economically, which is why there needs to be a bold initiative to help retrain people who've lost their jobs forever, because the most vulnerable amongst us have been decimated. Everyone else seems to be recovering, but again, the most vulnerable amongst us need the most help, which is why the job retraining is something I'm personally very excited about, and I hope is a big part of the next infrastructure package, because it was not included at all in the American Rescue Plan. So that's it, everybody. This is where Democrats stand right now with the $3 trillion infrastructure package. They are considering throwing the kitchen sink at all of this, including other priorities, including immigration, and trying to include that in a massive infrastructure package, because they know the balance of power is likely to change next year. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Please click the like button, please subscribe, please enable notifications. I would really appreciate that. That would mean a lot to me personally. Thank you so much for watching. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.